everyone, welcome back to the deep dive.
Always good to be back.
I think we all kind of struggle with this idea of, how to actually live a really authentic life.
Yeah.
Like you said, how to be real, especially when there's so much noise and expectations coming at us from every direction.
Definitely.
So today we're diving deep into Jenna Kutcher's book, How Are You, Really?
Great book.
It is. And we've pulled out what we think are 7 of the most powerful lessons, like the real gems from it, to help us figure out, how to be more honest with ourselves, how to figure out what success really means to each of us, not just like what society tells us,
Right.
how to find some kind of balance in our crazy busy lives, that
Yeah.
elusive balance.
It is elusive.
Learn to say no, embrace our imperfections, find those real connections. And then this is the big one, finding our enough point.
Yeah.
Like, where is enough enough? So let's jump right in.
Sounds good.
The first one, honesty with yourself.
Yeah, this is huge. And Kutcher really hits on, all this pressure we face. Like we're bombarded with these images of, perfect families, the dream job, the flawless bodies all over social media.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so easy to start thinking that we should want those things too.
Absolutely.
Even if they don't actually, resonate with us deep down.
It's like we're all trying to keep up with the Joneses, but online.
Exactly. And the key takeaway here is to stop and really ask yourself, where are these aspirations coming from? Are they really yours, or are you just, echoing what you're seeing and hearing from everyone else?
That's such a good point. It's like we're all performing a role sometimes.
Yeah.
And that performance kind of takes over how we even define success.
It really does. We get caught up in, the corner office, the awards, the external validation. But Kutcher, she pushes us to think deeper. Like, what truly lights you up?
Yeah.
What makes you feel successful on the inside, regardless what anyone else thinks?
And this is where redefining success comes in, right?
Right? It's about realizing that those traditional markers of success, they can feel so empty
They can.
if they don't align with your actual values.
Your core values, yeah.
Yeah, so instead of chasing someone else's definition of success,
Right.
what does success actually feel like to you?
In your gut.
Yeah, what are those activities or experiences that, leave you feeling energized and actually fulfilled?
And then how do we make time for all that when we're constantly juggling a million things?
Right. That's the tightrope walk of balancing life's demands.
Work, family, personal time.
Yeah, it can be so overwhelming.
It really can.
Kutcher reminds us that our time and energy are limited.
They really are.
So it's not about achieving this perfect balance,
Oh, that's good to hear.
but about making deliberate choices about how we spend our resources.
Yeah.
Choices that actually support our well-being.
And that brings us to the power of saying no.
Oh, yeah. The power of no.
Which can feel so hard.
It can.
Like almost selfish. But it's really more about self-preservation. Right?
It absolutely is. Saying no isn't just about declining your request. It's about protecting your time and energy for the things that matter most.
That really matter. Yeah.
Like, think about the last time you said yes to something out of obligation and you felt totally drained afterwards.
Oh, yeah. I can think of a few times.
Right. What could you have done with that time and energy if you had said no?
Probably something much more enjoyable.
Right, exactly. Something that actually energized you.
Okay, so we're getting better at saying no to things, carving out time for the things that really matter. But then there's this pressure to be perfect.
Ah, yes, the perfectionism trap.
Especially with social media constantly in our faces.
It's so hard to escape it.
Yeah.
Everyone's presenting this curated version of themselves.
The highlight reel.
Yeah, and it sets this completely unrealistic standard.
It does.
But Kutcher, she encourages us to look at our imperfections differently.
How do you mean?
Instead of seeing them as flaws to hide, she sees them as part of what makes us unique. Like they're part of our story.
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it.
And often our imperfections are where our biggest lessons and growth come from.
Yeah.
So what if we shifted our perspective from hiding our flaws to actually embracing them?
I like that a lot. And speaking of connection, Kutcher really emphasizes the value of authentic connections over just having a ton of superficial ones.
Yes, quality over quantity.
Right. It's not about how many friends you have or followers you have.
Exactly.
It's about the depth of those relationships.
Those meaningful connections, they're built on being vulnerable, being present, and engaging with people authentically.
Really being there.
Yeah. So think about where you're investing your emotional energy right now.
Okay.
Are those relationships truly nourishing you?
It makes you really evaluate your inner circle.
It does.
Okay, so we've covered being honest with ourselves, redefining success, finding balance, learning to say no, embracing imperfections, and prioritizing real connections.
We're on a roll.
We are. But now for the big one, finding your enough point.
This is a big one.
Yeah. It feels almost revolutionary in our culture of always wanting more.
I know. It's like we're constantly striving for the next thing.
Always on to the next.
But Kutcher's idea of enough, it's about recognizing when you have enough.
Okay.
When that pursuit of more actually starts to take away from your enjoyment of what you already have.
That's a really interesting point.
It's about shifting your focus from what's next to appreciating what you already have.
Yeah.
So what does enough actually feel like for you in different areas of your life?
That's a great question to ask ourselves.
It is.
So there you have it. We've explored being honest with ourselves, redefining success, balancing those demands, learning to say no, embracing those imperfections, prioritizing authentic connections, and finding our enough point, all inspired by Jenna Kutcher's work.
Such a good roadmap.
It really is. So here's a final thought for you to ponder.
Okay.
Out of these 7 lessons, which one speaks to you the most right now? And what's one small thing you can do today to actually move closer to that more authentic life and maybe get a little bit closer to your own personal enough?
I love that.
Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.
Until next time.
See you then.